Hey everyone, Tobogo here. And let me tell you, I've got some stuff to show you today that's gonna make you say, what in the waffle iron? We're talking about inventions so bizarre, so out there you're gonna think they're from another planet. Buckle up, Buttercup. Because we're diving headfirst into the world of hilarious inventions you won't believe actually exist. You know, people are always coming up with new gadgets and gizmos, trying to make our lives easier, better, or at least more interesting. But sometimes those inventions miss the mark, like way, way off. And those, my friends, are the inventions we're celebrating today. So grab your snacks, settle in, and get ready to have your mind blown, and maybe slightly scarred by these totally bonkers inventions. Let's do this thing. Alright folks, first up we've got something truly special. I'm talking about the baby cage. Now I know what you're thinking. A cage for babies? That's nuts. And you know what? You're not wrong. But hold your horses because it gets even crazier. This thing was invented back in the 1930s. And get this, it was supposed to be a way to give city-dwelling babies some fresh air. Yeah, you heard that right. Fresh air. Just picture it. You live in a tiny apartment. You've got a screaming baby, and you're desperate for a little peace and quiet. So what do? You stuff your precious little bundle of joy into a metal cage and hang it out the window. I mean, can you imagine seeing that today? People would be losing their minds. You'd be calling Child Protective Services faster than you can say safety hazard. But back then, this thing was considered totally normal. It was just another day in the life. Thankfully, the baby cage trend didn't last very long. Common sense eventually prevailed. I guess people eventually realized that dangling your kid out a window maybe wasn't the best idea. Safety first, right? But hey, at least it makes for a good story, right? Something to laugh about now, but definitely not something to try at home. Next up on our journey into the bizarre, we've got a modern classic, the ostrich pillow. Now, who here loves a good nap? I know I do. But sometimes finding the perfect place to rest your weary head can be a real pain in the neck, literally. That's where the ostrich pillow swoops in to save the day. This thing looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. It's basically a giant fluffy cocoon that you stick your head in. No, seriously. You just shove your face right in there and then BAM! You're in a world of darkness and quiet. I gotta say, the idea is kind of genius. I mean, who hasn't been stuck in a boring meeting or a long car ride just wishing they could take a quick power nap? With the ostrich pillow, you can. It's like having a portable nap zone wherever you go. But here's the thing, it also makes you look completely ridiculous. Like you're basically wearing a giant marshmallow on your head. Not exactly the most fashionable accessory. But hey, comfort over style, am I right? At the end of the day, it's all about finding that perfect balance between looking good and feeling great. Alright, let's talk beverages, people. Specifically, let's talk about what we put in those beverages to keep them cool and refreshing. Ice cubes, right? Simple, effective, boring. But you know what's not boring? Fish-shaped ice cubes. That's right, my friends. Now you can enjoy your favorite drink with a side of frozen marine life. I gotta hand it to the inventor of this one. They were really thinking outside the ice tray. I mean, who needs boring old square ice cubes when you can have little fishy friends swimming around in your glass? But let's be real, this is one of those inventions that seems like a good idea in theory. But in practice, it's just kind of weird. Like, do you really want to be staring into the dead eyes of a frozen fish while you're trying to enjoy your iced tea? And don't even get me started on what happens when the ice melts. Suddenly you've got a bunch of half-melted fish corpses floating around in your drink. Not exactly appetizing. Next up, we're tackling a problem that has plagued humanity since the dawn of sliced bread. How to butter your toast evenly without making a giant mess. It's a daily struggle that many of us face, especially during those rushed mornings. Well, fear no more, my friends, because the butter stick is here. This innovative tool is about to change your breakfast game forever. This handy little gadget is basically a glue stick, but instead of glue, it dispenses butter. Yes, you heard that right. That's right, you just twist the bottom and out pops a perfectly measured amount of buttery goodness, ready to be spread on your toast, bagels, or whatever your carb-loving heart desires. No more uneven chunks or torn bread. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one actually seems kind of practical. It's simple, effective, and saves time. I mean, who hasn't struggled with cold, hard butter that just refuses to spread evenly? It's a common kitchen nightmare. With the butter stick, those days are over. Say goodbye to the frustration of mangled toast. But then again, maybe I'm just a sucker for anything that makes my life a little bit easier. Convenience is key in our busy lives. And let's be honest, who needs another single-use gadget cluttering up their kitchen drawers? It's a valid concern. But hey, if you're the kind of person who demands perfectly buttered toast every time, then the butter stick might just be your new best friend. It's all about those little joys in life. Last but not least, we've got a product that's near and dear to my heart. Shoe umbrellas. Now, I've never understood people who wear expensive shoes in the rain. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to ruin them? But for those of you who just can't resist the siren song of stylish footwear, even when the weather's got other plans, I present to you the shoe umbrella. That's right, folks. Now your precious kicks can have their very own tiny umbrellas, protecting them from the elements in style. It's like having a personal rain shield for your feet. But let's be real, this is peak extra. I mean, you're walking around with tiny umbrellas attached to your shoes. You're basically asking to be stopped and stared at on the street. But hey, if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind a little attention, and you absolutely, positively cannot stand the thought of getting your shoes wet, then maybe, just maybe, shoe umbrellas are for you. And there you have it, the strangest inventions ever made, from baby cages to shoe umbrellas. We've seen it all today, folks. I gotta say, it's amazing what people come up with, right? Some of these inventions might be totally bonkers, but hey, you gotta admire the creativity. And who knows, maybe one day, one of these weird and wacky gadgets will be the next big thing. Stranger things have happened, right? Which one would you actually use? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more hilarious videos like this one. Thanks for watching.